Uh-oh. The adhesive on the bag doesn't want to open. Alright. I'm gonna have to use scissors because the adhesive has hardcore glued itself. Hey y'all, it's Alirien, and welcome to the haul video for MidCity MicroCon 2026. You can see the bulk of it here. I'm missing a couple of items that I will provide photos of. I'm gonna go kind of just in order of smallest to largest, and this bag right here I will go through last because it was a freebie for having gone through the stamp rally that 5 or 6 of the vendors were all doing together, and I will talk about that more at the end before I go through that goodie bag. But that was really cool that they all collaborated to kind of boost each other's sales and businesses. The smallest item or items were from a shop called Bless the Crystals, and so I got, of course, a crystal. They had several things with natural stones, they had jewelry, they had carved pieces. So I got this wee little raven skull out of, let me put my phone flashlight on so you can hopefully see the color better. But it's this dark sort of like strawberry red quartz. There, you can see it a bit better. But yeah, it's so pretty, and like I said, it's a bird skull, a little raven skull, so that's really cool. I'll put a photo up so that you can see it a little bit better. And from that same shop, because they also had pins, I got this little Mew with this little emblem dangling from him. And Dags also got a pin, which you will see pictured here because I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. And they were all very affordable, super nifty pieces. We'll definitely consider buying something else from them if I spot them at an event again. Next up, from Coors Plastic S'mores. Coors does perler art of various characters from various games and media. We already have a shiny Umbreon and a Charmander from her shop, so we kind of kept up the fire theme and grabbed a Fennekin and a Flareon. Flareon being one of Dags' favorite evolutions, and Fennekin actually being the very first Pokemon starter that I ever played a game with. Fennekin's near and dear to me in that regard. And then these are from a local shop called Bathin Nerdy. She does bath bombs, she does lotions and body scrubs, lip balms, perfumes, all inspired by, again, various media, video games, anime, you name it. So I got the Destiny Islands candle, which of course is Kingdom Hearts. It is sea salt, ocean orchid, and coconut, and it really smells very nice. Just kind of like mild and tropical and relaxing. Like I could picture somebody lighting this in a spa. And then I got the Lamb's Offering lip balm, which is, of course, almost said Silence of the Lambs. Oh, what the heck is it called? Why is my brain blanking? Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. It's, of course, Cult of the Lamb. It is blackberry and honey, which sounds delightful. I love blackberry. I am a fiend for blackberry. I don't know why. And then this one was tricky to choose, but they had this series of like cranky waifu keychains of various kinds, and it was a toss-up between this one and Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. And I thought about it and realized I have a decent amount of Gigi stuff, but I don't give Calcifer enough love. So I got the Tamagotchi of Calcifer, which is so stinking cute, and I love the star-shaped carabiner. I just love that extra detail. And they had a bunch of like paired characters as well. They had Ed and Al from Fullmetal Alchemist. They had Jinx and Vi. Like I said, there was a Gigi Tamagotchi. There was a Haku from Spirited Away. Soot Sprite, which of course shows up in both Totoro and Spirited Away. Lots of really great, adorable designs. So yeah, I like Calcifer. On the theme of keychains and also artwork, this was from Art by Ken3, I think was the name of the booth. I will correct it in text. But more keychains, specifically a Celeste, who is a shaker. Let me pull her out of her bag so that you can actually properly hear it without the crinkling plastic. There we go. So there's Celeste, and you can kind of hear the beads. And she does have her little bow on the back, and she's just so adorable. And I never see enough of Celeste, so I had to grab her. And then there's a pair of Sailor Scout uniforms. I got Mars and Jupiter, because Mars is my favorite of the Inner Scouts, and Jupiter is my fiance's favorite. And they're sparkly and just absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much. And I also got a couple of sticker sheets of the Sanrio characters as Eeveelutions. Kuromi being Umbreon is my absolute favorite. It's the best. And then I like doctor stickers, which are just adorable. It makes me think of the Squishmallow Plague Doctor plushie. So next up, I need to open the bag for this. So this is some very pretty artwork. I believe this is watercolor, or was originally done with watercolor, and then she sells prints. Becca Hillburn is a teaching artist who had a booth there, and she had, watercolor, marker, comic craft, inking, and Photoshop work. She had these wonderful art pieces that were like all sorts of Louisiana foods with these like tiny little Thumbelina-esque sort of, or borrowers style characters, you know, eating or cooking the foods involved, like snow cones and frog legs and things like that. And then she had a couple of these prints that were hobby specific. So I got the sewing one because it's so pretty, and just, it makes me so happy to see all of the tools and everything just shown this kind of love, you know? It felt like a hug between artists to have something that, you know, someone else is so good at, devoted to celebrating the thing that I'm good at. So I'm going to find a very, very pretty frame and put this up in the craft room, because, you know, it's gotta go in there. And lastly, out of the items I have to show you, oh, I had this wrong, okay. So the stickers and these other two were from Artemis Solos, art by Artemis Solos. This is art by Ken3. Dark Lady. It's such a beautiful, beautiful print. I did flip through to see if she had Mistress 9, and I did not see in the book, but I will have to keep an eye out if she ever does Mistress 9, because of course that is Saturn, but Dark Lady is just such a bad babe, and I love her so much. One of my friends and I had an idea, and hopefully one day we will still do it, to do a pair cosplay of Dark Lady and Mistress 9, and I just, it's so pretty. So again, really nice frame, and we'll have to put this up either in here or in the craft room, because she's so gorgeous. I love her so much. So that's everything that I currently have with me besides the goodie bag. I will briefly mention, I mentioned that Dag's got a pin. He also got from a wood shop that was in the first floor lobby. He got this really nice box with art of Gengar on the lid that he is now using as his roll box for D&D. That's really, really cool. So lastly, for the stamp rally, as I said, there were like 5 or 6 shops, and a few of them were on the first floor, a few of them were on the second floor, but they had all worked together. It was Bathin Nerdy, Coors Plastic S'mores, Nerd Brew, which was partnered with the wood maker, Ken3, Artemis Solos. It must have just been those 5. If you spent 10 or more with each of those booths, you got a goodie bag. And so I went and got a goodie bag, and apparently I did it just right, where, because Ken3 had the actual goodie bags, and she was right in the front lobby. Ken3 was the last one we went to. So I bought the Dark Lady print and then got the goodie bag. And these are some pretty nifty items that were all thrown in here. A Pez dispenser, because why not? I haven't had Pez in so long. It's super cute. This is probably one of my favorite pieces that I ever could have gotten. This is beautiful artwork of Link riding Epona with the Silent Princess flowers and the Hylian shield and the Master Sword in the background. It's so pretty, and I love this so much. Obviously from Coors Plastic S'mores, we ended up with Flareon as well. So now we have 3 of the Eeveelutions in her perler art. I really like this. It's a little bookmark that says reading paused. Resume, option, save, load, quit. So, you know, it's a gaming themed little bookmark, and it is metal, which I also like, because it's going to be a bit more durable. And lastly, and somehow, some way, someone there must have known, because, you know, the bookmark and the Legend of Zelda already 2 incredible grabs in a random goodie bag. Flareon's also pretty damn good, because any of the Eeveelutions I love. But the Spyro sticker takes the cake, because the chances of me getting the Spyro sticker in the goodie bag And I laughed when I pulled it out and showed my friend, because I was like, it's funny, my two favorite dragons from anything both happen to be purple and orange, because it's Spyro and it's Figment. So we got the Spyro's decor. And I'm gonna have to decide what to do with him, because part of me wants to put him on the side of my computer tower, but I'm wondering perhaps if I should put him like on my cash box for events or something else. So we will see where he ends up going. But yeah, as I said at the end of the vlog, we had a lot of fun. It feels amazing to not only support the library and its events, but also to support all of these local fellow nerds and fellow geeks and fellow makers in the things that they do. And this is another reason why I really want to be part of next year's. If any of you guys see the call for vendors for MidCity MicroCon in Baton Rouge go out, do me a favor and send it to me, even if I have already posted about trying to apply, because, you know, I want to make sure I don't miss it this time around. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's everything that we got at MidCity MicroCon. Small haul, but it's a small event, and I really can't wait for next year. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know where the buttons and the links are to show me that love, but if nothing else, I hope you will subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. If you'd like to see more content like this video specifically, I have my vlog playlist linked in the cards up here, as well as in the description below, where you can also find my Linktree portal to keep up with my adventures on other social media planes. As always, I would like to give a huge special thanks to my covens of patrons and Twitch subscribers who continue to be my biggest supporters. And if you, dear viewer, would like to join either of those ranks, again, check that Linktree portal for my Patreon, which begins at $1 per month, or my Twitch channel, where a tier 1 sub starts at $5.99 per month. Thanks again. Stay tuned for more LEGO Star Wars VODs and eventually the Tears of the Kingdom VODs. And I shall speak to you all again very, very soon. Keep aiming, my loves. Bye, y'all.